Hello everyone, I'm Bonnie Johnson, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located on the eastern part of Virginia in a small town called Carsville. I am here tonight to show you just how easy it is to craft 4 quick and easy cards using the new Mediterranean Blooms suite of products. Now, if you find out tonight that you like these cards, I will be happy to send them to you absolutely free. All you have to do is place a $40 order before shipping and taxes in my online store using host code BW. Let's see, I think I got it right here. BW3PSJRG, and you will find that host code in my description also. You'll also receive a PDF with step-by-step directions and color photos. So in order to receive this kit for free, you simply need to order by Wednesday, June the 19th. Kits will ship out on June the 24th. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You can find the Mediterranean Blooms suite of products on pages 34 and 35 of the new catalog. Tonight we're going to be using the Citrus Blooms stamp set, the dies that coordinate with that stamp set, and the star of the show really is the Designer Series paper. Now, I have cut this down to be 6x6, but if you choose to purchase the Designer Series paper, it will come in 12x12 sheets, and you will get 2 sheets of 6 different designs. So if you're not a fruit person, wait until you see the back of each of these pieces of papers. So the colors are stunning. You see a lot of a new end color, peach pie. We have a lot of lemon lolly. We have some of our greens as well, old olive, mossy meadow. Take a look at the back sides. Stunning right there. If you are a blue and white person, this is definitely something that you need to consider seriously. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started making our cards. Let me show you first of all the 4 cards that we're going to make tonight. This one is, there's no good card for this, and this sentiment actually comes from a different stamp set called Comforting Thoughts, and the die was cut from the Stylish Shapes die set. Here we have one that features the blue and white side of the Mediterranean Blooms paper. And this particular hello comes from Layering Leaves stamp set that was created by Rachel Tessman. And here I have used 1.5-inch squares to fit together sort of like a puzzle. And I have used the sentiment from the Citrus Bloom stamp set, and this die actually comes from something fancy, but you can use whatever dies you have at home. Actually, if you order the kit, you will receive this particular shape. You can use whatever stamp sets you have at home. And then the last one is what we call a joy fold, and it's a fun fold. You will receive all the pieces already cut. All you have to do is simply stamp and assemble. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and our first card is going to be the one that features these pieces right here. And in your kit, you are going to get these pieces. So everything is done for you. You're going to receive a card base made out of our thick, basic white. You're going to receive a piece of peach pie that I have embossed with our metal plate embossing folder. I don't know if you can see. There you go. you will receive a smaller piece of basic white, a piece of designer series paper, a die cut circle for your stamping, and you will also receive the iridescent striped ribbon. Now let me show you just how easy it is to go ahead and assemble this. And I always like to start with my stamping. So I'm going to use the Early Espresso ink and the stamp from Comforting Thoughts that says there is no good card for this. And I'm just simply going to tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to aim for centering that. And the great thing, one of the great things about our photopolymer stamps is that they are easy to line up so that your image is straight. You don't have to worry about a thing. The next thing we're going to do is, let me go ahead and close that. We are going to go ahead and glue our designer series paper onto our basic white layer. And I like, I'm a fan of liquid glue. Sometimes I will use the Stamp and Seal if I'm in a hurry and I feel like I don't need any wiggle room. But with the multi-purpose liquid glue, you have a little bit of time where you can zhuzh it if it's not quite right. So then next, I'm going to go ahead and glue my embossed layer onto my card base, and I want to make sure that it opens the right way. Now, whenever I have a piece of embossed paper like this, I will say that I do add a little extra glue because I feel like it's more likely to not lay quite as flat as I would like it to. So I just put a little glue in the center. And then I'm going to place this here. And I like to give a gentle push here, and then I like to turn it over, and I like to give it a little massage. And you will find that it lays nice and flat when you do that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, this layer that we have put together here, and we are going to tie just a knot using that iridescent striped ribbon. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm attempting to tie, I feel like I'm all thumbs. So I've decided, I discovered the other night that if I take my tweezers and I place them right there, then that is going to hold that in place while I simply tie this knot. I'm sure that you have a little trick that you use as well. But for right now, this seems to work for me. Awesome. And then I'm just going to trim these ends because I do believe that they are too long for my card front. And I like to snip them at an angle. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment on with dimensionals. And I'm just going to use two. I'm going to use one at the top and one at the bottom. And then I will try to center that best I can. And then this layer is going to go on with dimensionals as well. Let me just say that when you purchase a kit, you will need your own glue, your own ink pads, your own stamps, your own dimensionals. So I give you the basics, the card parts, the embossed layers, and I'm just going to use 4 on this tonight. I think that will do just fine. Sometimes these things are the dickens to get off. I am a fan of the big dimensionals. I know that a lot of people like to use the littles, and I like to have those on hand too because even though I prefer the big in most cases, I often use the little ones as well. And there you go. We have that very first quick and easy card already put together. Now the next card we're going to do is going to be this one, the one that says hello. And in your card kit, you will receive a Knight of Navy card base that's already been cut and scored for you. You will receive a white layer, a basic white layer, and this is going to be for the inside because anytime you have a dark card base, you need a light layer inside so that when you stamp your sentiment or write your sentiment, the person that receives your card can read it easily. You will also receive a layer that I've embossed for you with the Eyelet embossing folder. You'll have 2 Knight of Navy rectangles. You're going to have 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and you will have this little label for stamping your sentiment. So the first thing, like I said, the first thing I like to do is to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. And this one is simply going to say hello. And that is from the Layering Leaves stamp set created by Rachel Tessman, one of our $1 million demonstrators. Let me make sure this is good and straight. There you go. Let me go ahead and clean that stamp off. So that was a hard work. The hard work's been done. So now I'm going to adhere my Designer Series paper rectangles onto my Knight of Navy cardstock. And I try to have the same amount of border, the Knight of Navy border, all around this piece of Designer Series paper. That's my goal anyway when I do this. Again, the liquid glue allows you a little bit of wiggle room. I'd like to think every time I put it down it was perfect, but that is not the case. Okay. So I will go ahead and glue this layer into my card base. I think Knight of Navy is such a summertime color. Just screams summer to me. Red, white, and blue. Or blue and yellow, or blue and orange. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the eyelet layer onto the card front. And again, I'm going to add a little extra glue since this piece is dry embossed with that embossing folder. I don't typically put glue in the center. It's not necessary because this is such good glue. Chances are it's not going to go anywhere. But with the embossed layers, I do like to add a little extra. And again, I'm going to press it down and then I'm going to turn it over and give it that little teeny tiny massage. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with these 2 Knight of Navy layers, I'm going to glue this one down towards the left-hand side of this card front. And I want to have the same amount of border at the bottom and the top as I do on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to press gently on that. And then this one, what I'm going to do is, because this is raised a little bit, this is sitting on the embossed layer and cardstock, and it's got the Designer Series paper. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals down on this end. And then I'm simply going to glue the other end. And let's see, so I want the same amount of space here, or here, that I have over here. And I'm going to try to put this in the center-ish, center-ish. There you go. And then this, the sentiment label, will go on with dimensionals. So I'll probably just put 2 dimensionals on there. Now you can choose to put your sentiment in the middle. You can move it off to the right a little bit. I think I'm going to put it down towards the right a little bit. And card number 2 completed. How easy was that? So the next card we're going to do is this one right here. You're the best kind of person. And this sentiment actually came from the Citrus Blooms stamp set, the one that we're using tonight. So in this particular kit, you will receive you're going to get your thick basic white card base. You're going to get a Night of Navy layer. You're going to get your sentiment die cut piece. And you're going to get a little paper clipped package of 1.5 by 1.5 inch squares. I suggest you leave that paper clip on, and I'm going to explain to you why I think that's a good idea. People will often take the paper clip off and move their pieces all around. They get turned upside down. But this seemed to be a good tip that helped people in class, in-person classes this week. So I suggested that they just leave the paper clip on, slide one out, place it on your layer. So you're going to make 2 rows using these 1.5 inch squares. I know that's the top. So if we were to put these all together, we would have a nice picture. So now I'm going to start on my bottom row. It's going to be there. This is going to be here. And this one is going to come right here. So I know that they're a little crooked on there right now, but I will straighten them out a little bit as I am gluing them down, because you can see I have much more border on this side as I do my top side. Okay, so let me just bring this down a little. And I'm going to keep this in my hand because I don't want it to get mixed up, so I'm just going to flip it over and put the glue on the back side. Going to be good. Okay. Now I'm picking it up and I'm just flipping it over. I think this blue and white paper would make a beautiful quilt card. So I really think I'm going to have to try that. This needs to come down a tad. Okay. Let's see. that's pretty good. Now I'm going to tape the bottom row. This is a favorite layout of mine, and I've used it many times, but when I saw this paper, I thought, great. What a great layout for this piece of designer series paper. Do you have favorite layouts that you like to use over and over again? Okay. There you go. See how that's come together? So the next thing I'm going to do is, I should have stamped my sentiment first, but I was too busy talking. So I'm going to use my Night of Navy ink. Tap, tap, tap. And this one is not a photopolymer stamp set, so just got ink on that. Let me flip it over. Actually, you know what? I have another one over here. Inky fingers. There you go. This out of the way. And then this sentiment is also going to go on with dimensionals. Dimensionals just seem to make the card a little more special. Now I think that this one's down too far because you can see the edge of it, so I'm just going to gently remove it and put it back. There you go. As I mentioned, I had my in-person classes this week, and we typically make 4 cards in class, and these cards came together so quickly that most groups were done within an hour and a half, but I had one group that was actually done by within an hour. I don't think that's ever happened before. So that just goes to show you how quickly these cards come together. And they actually had some cutting out to do too, so you will not have that. It will all be done for you. So yours should come together quickly. And like I said, the directions will be very detailed, and you'll have a color photograph to go along with that. Again, if you would like to purchase the kit for the Mediterranean Blooms free online class to go, simply place a $40 order in my online store before taxes and shipping, and I will send you the card kits for free. Now, if your order goes over $50, I will throw in a brand new package of linen thread. So here is that third card. You're the best kind of person. Again, came together very, very quickly. And we have one more card to go, and this is the Joy Fold Fun Fold card. Now, don't be alarmed when you open this kit and you see lots and lots of pieces. It comes together very quickly. So in this kit, you're going to get a card base that has been scored, and the front part has been cut on the diagonal for you. You are going to receive a peach pie layer, a designer series paper layer, a long strip of peach pie, and this has already been scored for you, so you will simply fold it on that score line. A piece of lemon lolly, a piece of white, to stamp your sentiment on. And you're going to have a smaller white that you will stamp happy birthday on, and that will get cut out. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out for you. You're just going to need a teeny tiny stamp to put on that. You're going to receive the orange cluster that I've used the die to cut out of the Designer Series paper. You'll receive 4 green garden green leaves, and these dies were included in that coordinating die set. So here these are. These have already been cut for you out of the garden green. And you're going to receive a peach pie triangle and a Designer Series paper triangle as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. And this one is going to say, and I'm using the Night of Navy again. This one's going to say, I didn't forget your birthday, I'm just stretching out the celebration. And this comes from the Something Fancy stamp set. That stamp set is full of nice sentiments. So I'm just going to line this up. There you go. Didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. So there's that one. I'm going to set that one aside. And I already have this piece cut out. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this. And in your kit, you will have this little die cut piece too. And this die comes from the Something Fancy dies. Just a little happy birthday. There you go. I can put this away because I am through with that. All right, so the first thing I want to do, I'm going to glue my layer of Designer Series paper onto my peach pie layer. I have to place an order this week. The new online exclusives are available for pre-order by demonstrators. So that's always fun. And I need to order things for my next in-person class. There I have that. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto my card base. I had so many people say that this was their favorite card of the ones that we did in class. They loved the colors. They loved the fact that it was a fun fold. Just something different. Now your stamped sentiment is going to get put onto your piece of peach pie that has been scored, and you're just going to simply need to burnish that with your bone folder. And then this is going to get glued down onto the left side. Typically we glue on the right side, but for this particular card, it's going to go on the left side. So just be careful when you're putting that down, but again, the directions will be very detailed. Okay, I've got that centered. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put glue on the back of this left side right here. And I'm going to try to center this as good as I can. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to take my bone folder again because I want to burnish that. I want that to lay nice and flat. Okay. Now I'm going to take my lemon lolly and I'm going to glue that right in the middle there. See, it really does come together quickly, and there's nothing difficult about it. So now I'm going to glue on my piece of peach pie, and my goal is to have these points here meet and these points here meet. So I definitely recommend the liquid glue for this. That looks good, that looks good. And then I will add on my Designer Series paper. Very gently rubbing that to make sure that the sides are all down nicely. I think I have a little bit of glue there, so I'm going to, and that may not show. I'm going to take my adhesive eraser and get that off. It comes right off like magic. So now I'm going to take my die cut piece that has been cut from the Designer Series paper, and I'm going to put 3 or 4 dimensionals right around the center here. I do not want to put a dimensional over that opening because it will show through on the other side. So I'm going to put it beside that, not where that opening is. Just like so. That's going to be good. Now, something really important. When you place this down onto your lemon lolly layer, you do not want this leaf to extend past this peach pie layer right here. I learned the hard way. I had mine extended, and every time you open it, it gets bent. The leaves get bent. So be careful how you position that. It's okay if you have a piece extending down at the bottom or at the top or even on the left-hand side. Now, I have 4 leaf sprigs that I want to add, and I'm going to just simply add a little bit of liquid glue. And I'm going to tuck those where I want them to be. And the reason I didn't want those dimensionals towards the outside was because I didn't want them to obstruct my leaves in any way. And I'm just going to slide it under there. And again, it's okay if it extends on these 3 sides. So I think I'll go, I'm going to add this one down here. And one more. I'm going to add that one right here. but I'm going to tuck it in nicely. And the only other thing I have to do to this is to include my happy birthday sentiment. Because this is already on dimensionals, I'm going to put glue behind the birthday, and I will put a dimensional behind my happy. Okay. Zhuzh out a little bit. And there we have card number 4. So 4 cards made within 45 minutes. That's pretty amazing. So we made these 2, and we made these 2. So again, if you like these cards and you want to receive these for free, all you have to do is place a $40 order before shipping and taxes in my online store using host code BW3PSJRG, and that needs to be done by, let me see what dates I said. The order has to be placed by Wednesday, October the 19th, and the kits ship the 14th. Remember, if you order goes over $50, you will receive a pack of the linen thread as an extra thank you from me to you. So I hope you've enjoyed watching how quickly these 4 cards come together. And if interested, just let me know. I think that you can find the link below in the description that will take you right to my online store. So once again, thank you so much for spending some of